Hey guys, quick information before we start the video. I have some sound problems, so if you hear a little bit of an echo sound effect or something like that, I'm sorry. Hopefully fixed for future videos. I just realized it today when trying to record something, so if some videos in the future have that, it's probably related to that tech issue. So I hopefully have it fixed for the next one, but hopefully it's not too bad for this one. So still enjoy the video. New week, new arena as usual, and as usual as well, I'm here to give you all the infos you need for the arena, including teams, alternative for teams, important stuff to think about, and finally the rotation of the team that I'm going to use. I'm KONOsuba Gaming. Let's get right into this. First things first, of course it's an Earth arena because we just got an Earth banner, right? Let me move myself over here real quick while we check out the stuff here. Things to note about the boss. It of course is a lightning unit since we are using earth units, so we need to be aware of lightning attacks. There are also powerful attacks targeting the lead character here, which is really interesting because this allows for a lot of interesting strats. The enemies are weak to poison. Again, we don't really care. I think they should also be weak to... Was it? Maybe not. Maybe I remember something wrong. But last but not least, several enemies will appear in wave 3. That means we have another AOE arena. So what team can we use in such an arena like that? Here is the team that I am going to use. Let me move myself a little bit here. I'm using OG Vanir with his ulti 1 version 2 to just slow the mob down, allow him to live as long as possible before he faints, because let's be real here, the boss's attack probably kills your unit anyway, no matter who it is, or gets it at least really low. And then worst case, the second attack will probably kill him. Second unit, to no one's surprise, is of course Forbidden Megu. She's that strong, she's such a good character. You wanna use her. Slot 3 is the new Yunyun, as was mentioned in my banner guy. She's amazing for AOE mage arenas, and that's exactly what we're having here, right? Slot 4 is actually surprisingly Christmas Megumin. Yes, I need to make the weapon before we do the run. I'll do it later. The idea here is that she can come in after Vanir faints. By that point, there's a good chance that your magical attack on Wiz and Yunyun probably runs out. So either she can use her magical attack buff first into her speed boost, or she uses a speed boost into magic attack, so we actually get a little bit of speed boost. Just use both of her skills, and then hopefully die to the next boss's attack. And that way, Chris, the new unit, can come into the end to again provide the tier 2 speed boost, do the double hit on the boss, and just try to do more damage at the end. And if you're lucky, you can also probably just get, you know, an ulti out, because that would also be pretty good in an AOE arena. Because I use OG Vanir, of course I can use his party trait to boost my earth damage. Assist wise, as usual, we use Ares assist and the earth scroll. Okay, this is not the most optimal team. As weird as it sounds, this is not your optimal team. This is what I'm using. I actually double checked on the Discord rankings, and my team back then was the highest global Discord ranking team. But my team in GP looked a little bit different, and that is how it looked back then. So here the idea is we use Valentine's Darkness instead of OG Vanir for the passive trait. And we use her in slot 1. The sword she has there is a collaboration sword. We don't have it yet. But she has a trait to get target attacks, take all the damage away from Wiz and Yunyun to allow them to do as much damage as possible. Also give her more gates, so she can actually ulti before either Yunyun or Wiz can ulti, and that way you can just get buffed ultis in. The moment darkness faints, Vanir comes in at the back. Since by that point a little bit of time has already passed, he uses a back target trait and his ulti 1, because we don't need to slow the boss down. We actually want the boss to be not slowed down so he can die at a proper time. We've actually Rudis as an assist here, but again, not needed. But just like full damage with damage reduction earrings, just do as much damage as possible. With the gauge up, allow both Wiz and Yunyun to have proper ult rotations, and then with like, I don't know, 20 seconds left, Chris comes in, provides with the speed boost, provides with the double hit, gets buffed from Yunyun at the right timing, you know, have her AoE ulti to just deal a little bit more chip damage, right? And with that, finish the run. Actually, in a JP version, I got a little bit over 3 million score here at the end. Let me show it here. Like, you can actually beat 3 million score this arena, and funny enough, again, JP was really competitive. With that run, I was only ranked 16, and like, not that high of a finish that I hoped for with that, but in the global, this should actually be a bit of a higher rank, right? So yeah, that would be the most optimal team. Replacements for each of the units here are, I just use OG Vanir instead of Fast Vanir, who also works pretty fine, not gonna lie. The fact that it's an AoE skill with like Forbidden Wiz's ulti buff, with double debuffs from Yunyun, can deal pretty good damage. And if you don't have a tank like Darkness, you can also slow the enemy down to make your team survive a little bit longer and work around that way. I don't really think there's a great replacement for Wiz. If you don't have Forbidden Wiz, it is just move the other units around a bit, I would assume. Like, I don't think Wiz with her bunny casino version would be good here. Wiz is mostly there for self damage, and the ulti, which of course triggers the more AoE stuff you have. What you can actually do if you don't have Forbidden Wiz here is use Forbidden Megumin to get her Forbidden buff out, and with that actually increase the chip damage quite a bit, also boost damage of ultis in general. But then again, only Vanir's ulti here really matters since it's only earth damaging ulti. But that's probably the best replacement for there. If you don't have the Yunyun, you can, you know, just use the Chirs. If you have neither Chirs or Yunyun, I think there is another Earth. Was there another Earth Yunyun? Let me double check. Yeah, there's Christmas Yunyun. You can also just use her. She only has one AoE skill, but it at least provides a little bit of Gacha, which can also still be useful. She can still be the buffer in the team, and her ulti can still proc the Forbidden Wiz ulti stuff. So that's usable. If you don't have that Chirs, you can just use Fast Chirs. She also works as a speed boost unit. She can also get the stuff in, should work the same way, just with a little bit less damage. And for Christmas Megumin, again, she's not really needed. She's just there to get her skill sauce and feint. Another good replacement here would, for example, be the second anniversary Aqua. Provide some Gacha, provide some CDR, will be less damage because it's single target, but should be enough to get those things out to allow you other units just to get their skills in, potentially get another ulti in, and should be fine as well. But with that, I think I talked about a replacement unit for each of those. So I'm going to quickly make a proper weapon for Megumin, and then we jump into the run. Now that Megumin has a proper weapon, we can start the run. One quick info though, Zodiac actually gave a pretty good idea of using Onsen Lolisa as a replacement for the Yunyun here if you don't have her, because she also has the AoE Reshred. Again, I think Reshred per se is good, but only if you can really abuse it. In that case, for example, if you don't have a lot of AoE skills, the AoE Reshred doesn't matter too much. You can, for example, also then just use the single target Reshred that the Leah has, the Valentine's Leah. Could also work. She could also provide some CDR and stuff like that with her ulti. So if you have some AoE skills and stuff, like for example Vanir, I think Melissa might be a good unit to use. If you mostly have single target skills, then it might just be better to use single target Reshred if that unit in your team works better, but that's something you need to try out and see what works best for you. But now let's finally jump into the run. Post-edit Katsuma Gaming here, just a quick info. We actually have the rankings in now, and as you can clearly see, I already started to use a new team, which was pretty much inspired by the rank 1 team, to no one's surprise, right? The idea is actually, instead of using Darkness to Suicide, we are using Leah, as she can provide pretty much the same kind of CDR, but more Gacha for your team, which allows for better rotation timings at the end. Works decently well. I can probably increase my run a lot more, so stay tuned for a follow-up run video, probably, I don't know, tomorrow maybe, we'll see. Besides that, rank 2 is actually the team I described with running Darkness. A few changes here are, of course, we are using Chunchumaru in Darkness instead of the Speed Sword. And thanks to that bonus gauge up, we don't really need a sub assist here, a sub unit here. With this double gauge up, as I had my JP thing, Yunyun had now it's 1 gauge up, which is also fine, I guess. But yeah, everything else is pretty much kind of the same as I used there. So you can see that team also works and can probably get higher if you play perfectly. So that's just a big difference. But a few other things that I want to mention here that I saw is, where is it? One more, there is. People actually also can use just the 2nd anniversary Aqua. I also think talked about it as the suicide unit here to, you know, come in at the front. And the rest is pretty much the same. So yeah, there are a few options, teams out there. Another person running the Megumin that I did. Like, you see the ideas I had are out there. Just people have different ideas with the same kind of unit. So it just shows how much variety you can do. If you guys need any kind of run with a different team, a more free-to-play friendly team, rotation, showcase, stuff like that, let me know in the comment section down below. And after I did the other run with the Leah team, I also can try to, you know, record a budget run, upload it, and hopefully help you out with that. So that's it. Okay, pray for some targeting on not Yunyun. So far so good. Okay, okay. You want to use Yunyun's 2nd skill here with like 55 seconds. Nice, nice, nice. That 1 hit on Vanir is actually pretty good, not gonna lie. I'm liking that, I'm liking that. Really good start so far. Using all the skills here. Good, good, good. It's right before the enemy's attack. Good, good, good. Using Whiz ulting to Yunyun ulti. If you wonder why, Yunyun's ulti now triggers like 12k damage per mobs. There are like 4 mobs. So that's like 48k bonus damage, which should actually outdamage the bonus damage that Whiz ulti would do. Unless, of course, you crit. I think if Whiz ulti crits, then it's better that way. But I'm not planning on getting a guaranteed crit, so I actually think using that rotation that way is better. So now let's see. We get the hit on Vanir. We did. It allows us to do an ulti. Proc, POC. Use Air's assist here. Wait for the auto mob to attack as well. That's a lot of hits on Yunyun. I'm not liking that. Wait here for the AoE skill into CDR. Well, that's actually one more round of delayed action from the boss. Pretty good, not gonna lie. But that's a bit too many hits on Yunyun. I'm not liking that. Okay, let's wait for them all to be ready. Actually mistimed it quite a bit. Here, 1 hit on Yunyun would actually be fine. But no, why should game give it to me? Now with full HP, Vanir is actually able to survive 1 hit here, which is really key. Yeah, I think it should be fine to use the ulti here. So far so good. I'm going to use... I'm going to use the basic here, heal myself up a bit. Really unlucky. Now we can use Ares assist here. Should be fine enough, I think. It's the Vanir skill into CDR from Megumin here. Magic attack buff. Another basic to stay above HP. Basic, and basic from Vanir, because now he will faint. Even with a crit, wow. And now use that to speed boost our team up. Sadly, we won't get the Wiz ulti in here. We're just going to use Megumin ult itself and the Wiz basic. But here you can see, with a little bit more luckiness, aka Yunyun not fainting, Wiz maybe getting the ulti here at the end ready. One more hit was the difference. Should give you, like, again, 48k damage or something like that bonus on a Megumin ulti, which would be to put like 3.45 mil. If Yunyun then survives the whole run and gets lucky with that, that's also a big damage increase instead of, you know, Megumin coming in here. There's a lot of few things that could have happened to difference. Main goal here, or like what you want to happen, is Vanir surviving the first attack, then dying before the boss uses the second attack, so that Megumin can come in, get her both skills off, then get killed off by the boss. Then Chirs comes in, and you have your big three main carry dealers at the end with Wiz, Yunyun, and Chirs there to just deal as much damage there as possible. But yeah, boss really dislikes my Yunyun. That's just me getting unlucky, I guess. But I think you should get the hang here of the rough idea, the rough strat. There are probably other ideas out there as well, with some suicide units in the front to just buff your teams. Again, I think Valentine's Darkness is the best out there for that. So if you have her, GG, that's a lot of damage increase. Especially then you can just use Darkness to buff your team, then use the Forbidden Wiz ulti, and afterwards you still use the Yunyun ulti to deal the bonus damage, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the idea besides my team. Again, for the best optimal team, I will link my JP Arena run down in the video description, so check it out if you have that team and want to use that. Otherwise, just experiment a bit, see what you can do. I think, for example, also the Aqua, the second Anni Aqua that I used at one point here trying to practice, can be a good slot 1 unit. Being there, providing gauge up, providing CDR, providing even a bit of healing for a Yunyun before feigning to the first boss attack might be a valid strat. Like, there are actually a few ideas that you can do here, so try around, see what works the best for you. Good luck with your runs, and see you all in the next video. Bye! だから一緒に行きましょう